I'm Sally.
I'm Penny.
I'm Tracy.
I'm Gemma.
I am Owen.
I'm Bethan.
I'm Mabel.
I'm Kathy.
Hello, sweeties. I'm Kelvin.
At the next roundabout, take the second exit.
Slight deviations from a norm may not be regarded as abnormal if the social norm is not considered important by the society.
In 2 kilometers, turn left.
A social norm is to wear full clothing whilst out shopping, but a bikini is acceptable on a beach.
At the next roundabout, take the second exit.
If someone walked into a shop, past the queue and straight to the till, it would be regarded as an abnormal behaviour and classed as such.
At the next roundabout.
It is also socially acceptable to drink milk out of a bottle if you are a baby, but not as an adult.
At the next roundabout, take the second exit. You have arrived at your destination.
Standard Deviations by Neil Harris.
At 7:30 this evening, join Alan Bennett for the Great British Inconsequential Small Talk.
I don't like being premature, but I think Sanjeev is in with a chance with his excellent use of the phrase fair to middling.
Viking warriors, welcome to our annual reenactment.
Technically, it's biannual, actually. Redbeard, hail, Vikings!
Hey,
Colin!
Today's battle plan is as follows. Are you ready?
Yes,
Queen.
Did you just say yes, Queen?
No.
Oh, so it's you with the plan again, is it?
Yeah. Oh, sorry.
Yes.
Oh, it is me with the plan because it's my turn. Hey, brothers? I said, hey, brothers!
Yes.
Thank you, brothers. So, to the plan. First, we maraud up the beach at Hollingshead.
Yeah.
Not very original, but go on.
We maraud up the beach, and men, today there will be pillaging.
Yay.
What's wrong with you?
Yeah, some of the members they're not comfortable with the pillaging.
This again, brothers, warriors, will you pillage?
You tell him.
Perhaps a little?
See?
I'm going to pretend this is not happening. Battle cries!
Yes.
Today's battle cries will be as follows. On to Saxon Gate. Now let us hear your voices.
On to Saxon Gate.
What about the A307?
Sorry?
Yes, that is a dual carriageway. You can't maraud over this.
What do you propose?
On to the A307, then take the bus service around the villages.
What? Like that would instill the fear of Odin? Are we Vikings or what? Who do you follow? Bloodbeard or Colin? I say, lay your hands on your Viking hearts and speak. Who do you want? Bloodbeard or Colin?
Colin.
That's it.
Yeah, good riddance.
Shut up.
Right, Vikings, pass around the high visibility jerkings and prepare for battle.
Sat nav has been set to fantasy mode.
What fantasy mode selected? Continue on this perilous and ancient road for hundreds of miles through the Middle Kingdom until you reach Mount Doom, Birmingham. You have arrived at your destination the Orcs' netherworld. At the next junction, do not look back. At the next junction, do not look back.
Here I am, deep in art at last, remaining untouched part at Rainforest. I feel so privileged to witness such a unique and special occasion, and yes, through dense canopy right in front of me, I can see buildings that one remaining indigenous tribes who have had literally no contact with outside world. And at this very special moment in time, I hope my presence is not unwelcome and that we can understand each other somehow. Coming towards me is someone who looks very much like an important member of community, and they're surrounded by villagers. You speak English?
Oh, absolutely.
Of course we do.
You bet.
But how can this be? I thought our first outsider to ever have been here.
Yes. No. Do you know Ben Bogle?
We love Ben.
What a guy!
Bloke's a legend.
It's 3 a.m. I'm in my tent, feeling a little despondent. Is there anywhere that Ben Fogle hasn't been? The village has been renamed Fogletown, and most of the inhabitants are wearing Ben's khaki cast-offs. I feel defeated.
Hi, room for one more?
Come in, Ben. Make yourself at home.
Next on BBC One, join Nigella Lawson for the Great British Boozy Gathering.
I just loved how Naomi and Carolyn and their chums started on the bolly, moved on to downing the dessert wine, and ended up devouring a dirty kebab before collapsing in the high street.
Have you seen this energy bill, Carol?
Oh, not now, love. Not without Jack's visiting.
We have to do things differently.
I know. Look, don't make a scene. That's her. Be nice, love.
Hi, Mum.
Oh, lovely to see you again, darling.
Hi, Dad.
Hey, love.
Why is it so dark in here?
Your father's saving money again, darling.
Have you brought washing home?
Yeah? Is that a problem?
He thinks I'm going to hand wash again in cold water.
I can hear you.
I don't know how he hears us through the snorkel parka and the balaclava.
Are you still going out with that fella from the electric company?
Oh, not this again.
Oh, Errol, you promised you wouldn't bring that up again.
What do you mean?
You grilled him for 2 hours about tariffs.
Grilled him? We can't afford grilling.
Oh, he's lost it this time, Jax.
I suppose you want me to find a partner who doesn't trigger your obsession with prices.
No, just someone who doesn't eat us out of house and home. You know, food prices have gone up by 1/3. How about that fella from the evening class you brought back? He was
Errol!
No, I want to hear this. He was
smaller.
easier to heat.
Ate less, didn't mind sitting in the dark, wore the hats and scarves with no complaints. Had just the one hot beverage.
Oh, come on, darling. Let's go through and have a cuppa.
Use the small kettle. It's only 3p per kilowatt.
Sat nav has been set to Joanna Lumley mode.
It's just down here, sweetie. See that darling little cottage in local stone over there on the right? It's simply divine, isn't it? Yes, you probably should have turned back earlier. Never mind. It's gorgeous right here, isn't it? Shall we just stay here?
Mr. Higgins, I'm going to have to ask to see your National Trust membership card again.
Here, catch. Making more notes on me, are you? I suppose this is where you remind me that I'm barred from the Sunken Gardens.
You know that's correct, Arthur.
Big A.
I'm sorry.
My tag name, Big A.
Nay. So you're behind the graffiti in the Minstrel's Gallery?
I'm like Banksy, just keeping it real.
And I have to ask, did you damage another mobility scooter?
It wasn't me that totaled it. It was that mob from Green Meadows.
Green Meadows? The retirement home?
That's right, the GM crew. They're a bunch of...
I don't wish to hear what they are a bunch of. We have CCTV footage of you going round very slowly in circles on the gravel.
Donuts. They're called donuts. Ha. You got to get some faster wheels.
Donuts? Which brings us to your behaviour in the refractory cafe. It was quite a scene that you caused, and at one of our busiest times, just at the end of the guided tour of the orangery.
The menu's a joke. Nanny's tea. £9.50. And you know what that is, don't you? Apart from daylight robbery, Nanny's tea, toast and Marmite. Toast and Marmite. They refused to serve me.
Yes, I understand you were on your 8th Ferndale cider.
Brewed like the monks used to. What a load of...
I'm afraid we are considering banning you from the cafeteria.
Am I barred from the maze?
Yes, you jump out at people. It frightens them.
And the ornamental car plate?
Which you use as a public convenience. Look, Mr. Higgins, why don't you try the Roman ruins in Thornhill?
Because they're rubbish. That's why. And I'm not going to Horton Manor. That's just rooms full of old tat, mouldy old tat. The trust ain't what it used to be. I'll tell you that for nothing. Fire up the motor, Bill. We're getting out of here.
You can't take the buggy, Mr. Higgins.
Come on, Billy. Put your foot down. Let's burn some rubber. There's life in the old dog yet. Get your motor running. Head out on the highway.
Sat nav has been set to roadman mode.
Roadman mode. Selected, bruv. Let's get started, innit? Straight on, put your foot down. You don't want to get owned. This is so long, fam. Don't get vexed. Right. That's it. I'm telling you now. You have arrived at your destination. You must be gassed, bruv. So this is Chipping Campden. Believe the hype. Is everything all right?
Do you know why I pulled you over, sir?
Was I speeding?
No, sir, you were doing 28 in a 30 zone.
So?
Would you mind switching your music on, sir?
My music?
Yes, please, sir.
Introduction. Première.
And what language is that, sir?
It's
Bonjour.
French. I'm going camping in the Dourdan. Is that a problem?
And that depends on how good your French is, sir.
How good my...
Right, can you look at this card and tell me what you see?
Really?
Oui, monsieur.
Right. Well, it seems to be a cross-channel ferry leaving port, surrounded by...
On a français, s'il vous plaît, monsieur.
You want me to, right. Oh, yeah, right. Il y a une grande bateau portant du quai.
Qu'est-ce que c'est dans le ciel?
What's in the sky?
Yes, sir.
Oiseau. Birds.
Quelle sorte d'oiseau?
What sort of birds?
Yes, sir.
I'm not sure.
Call in all cars for backup, please.
Je ne sais pas le mot. I don't know the word for seagulls.
Right, don't know any words for birds, is it, sir?
Penguins?
Penguins? Afternoon, Sergeant. He doesn't know his birds, sir.
Oh, another one. What did he say?
Penguins.
Oh, so many birds he could have had. Corbeau.
Canard.
Poulet.
Chicken. Chicken.
Don't try and be funny, sir. Take him in, Sergeant.
Sir.
I know the words for other animals. I panicked, that's all. Test me on my colours. I know dozens of colours.
And action.
And in this hole in the ground lay one of the most notorious British monarchs of all time. His bones were discovered just here in the car park of this modest supermarket in Leicester.
Excuse me, mate.
Oh, cut!
You can't park there.
Look, we're in the middle of filming for the BBC.
Oh, I can see that, sir. But this parking spot is for families with young children.
Right, can you call your supervisor, please?
And action.
Here, in this hole in the ground, lay one of the most notorious British monarchs of all.
Is there a problem, sir?
What?
Look, we're trying to film here.
I can see that, sir, but you're getting in the way of the shoppers with all your stuff.
This stuff, as you call it, is millions of pounds worth of camera equipment.
Yes, sir. And it's Friday at 6 p.m. The weather's nice. There's a deal on barbecue items and booze. All right, Mikey.
Hiya, boss. Hiya. Still £7 for the grill pack of sausages?
Yeah, £7. Not bad. £12 for two.
Look, whilst you're disgusting sausages, the public want to know about the notorious King Richard of the Plantagenet line. You know who he is, I presume?
I do indeed, sir. Fellow with the bad haircut.
The fellow with what?
Can I get to those trolleys, Val?
That's it. I've had quite enough of this interference. This has all been cleared in advance with your company, and here are the documents to prove it.
Well, there's no need to get angry, sir. We're just trying to run a supermarket for the benefit of all shoppers, and any language or behaviour that is deemed threatening will be dealt with accordingly.
Let me make it very clear for you. I want you and your friend with the trolleys to go away. Just go and leave us to do our job, and perhaps turn that tannoy system down while you are at it.
All right, sir. You've made yourself very clear. I will be ringing head office.
I have a BAFTA, you know.
And action!
Here, in this hole in the ground, lay one of the most notorious kings of...
£2 of all bogey bags of puppies.
Kings of England, who the great bard William Shakespeare depicted as a despotic...
Can Brendan please come to toiletries?
Cut!
Brendan to toiletries, please.
They did that deliberately.
Are you going to be leaving soon, mate?
Yes, I bloody am.
No need to be rude, fella.
Next time, you can ask Dan Snow.
Next week, join chatty man Alan Carr for the Great British Conversation about the weather.
I loved how the lovely Ben used the word muggy. I mean, that's a classic in my book. Then Charmaine comes in with, can't make up its mind, can it? And I was blown away.
Sat nav has been switched to country mode.
Nobbly Oak, you say? Now then, you remember old Tom's place? It were Tom that fell in the grain hopper and came out without a scratch on him. Took 11 sugars in his tea. He could stand his spoon up in it. Ah, old Tom had a hole in his teeth where he smoked his pipe. Anyway, if you see old Tom's place, you've gone too far.
Ah, Beatrix, so good to see you.
Ah, you can still call me Muds Potter.
Right, right. Your journey was good, I trust.
Oh, God, I don't have time for this polite chat. Not when you call me all the way down to the city. Now spit it out, man. Spit it out.
Very well, Miss Potter. There's no easy way of saying this.
Yes?
Your latest stories I'm afraid we can't publish them.
Why ever not?
Well, what Mr. Morris is saying, what we are saying is that they are, every one of them, rather too violent.
Oh, God, the tales are not violent. They simply allude to the natural processes of life and death for most creatures.
Please be reassured that we have no problem at all with the lives of the lovely rabbits and birds and so on.
Their lives are fine, it's their deaths we can't print. To be absolutely clear, they're extremely violent deaths.
Oh, God. Well, I'm not pussyfooting around the lives of the creatures of Cumbria because some fancies of the London set can't cope with a bit of rural reality.
Oh, perhaps you could see your way to meeting us halfway.
What do you mean?
The tale here, for example.
Little woolly lambkins.
He's charming, isn't he?
He is charming, but does Lambkin need to end up at the butcher's?
Oh, but he did end up at the butcher's, and then we ate him.
Yes, but do you need to tell us that?
Of course I do.
Well, how about this one? The new tale of Jeremy Fisher and Pike that maimed him.
Well, Pike did. I mean, the frog lost both of his hind legs. Pike maimed him, then Pike ate his family.
Yes, perhaps you see the pattern emerging.
Oh, God, you want me to lie? And the others? All no good? What about 6 brown cows?
6 brown cows at the abattoir, you mean?
No good?
In its present form, I am afraid that it is unpublishable.
Oh, the mouse that squeaked? He deserved it.
Miss Potter, we cannot.
Saying that you do not wish to publish my stories?
If you refuse to omit the violence and the gritty Lakeland realism, then regrettably we have no choice but to terminate your contract.
Oh, God, I see. Well, perhaps you imagined me breaking down with emotion, gentlemen, but I am made of sterner stuff than you soft-scented city gents. No, I shall take Peter Rabbit and leave. You're lucky I didn't set Peter on you. Look at him, bearing his enormous gnashers. Calm down, Peter, calm. Why, the last person that crossed me now has 1 less finger to wag. Thank you, everybody. It's been great. I've loved it.
Yes, thank you.
Cheers, cheers. Cheers, dears. Cheers, dears.
Cheers.
Yes.
Cheers.
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 Cheers. Mm.
Cheers, cheers, cheers.